Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. Hope you are great. Disclaimer: this video reflects my personal opinions and commentary. It is not intended to harass, harm, or defame any individual. Content is for discussions and educational purposes. In 2026, it's April. This administration, they've been in power for how long? The fact that people still want to criticize Kamala Harris and still want to make us, especially black people, understand that she is not good enough, or she wouldn't have done anything, or she wouldn't have done anything better, or both of them are the same in 2026. The fact that you guys are not calling out this administration on the brouhaha they have been showing you people, but your major concern presently in 2026, April 2024, is that it is Kamala Harris who made life bad for you. Let me tell you something. When you did not vote for somebody, or when somebody did not win something, especially when it comes to a position in an office of leadership, what happens? She doesn't become the president or the vice president or whatever you voted for the person to become. So why is it hard for you guys to move on? Because at this point in time, the president or the person you guys said that was going to make life easier for you is showing you Pe0ple. Now you are calling Kamala Harris. Why are you calling that woman's name? Because she is not your problem. Go and hold your problem, because you all know them one after the other. Let's get into it.
If you really think that we would not be in war with Iran right now if Kamala were president, you are sorely mistaken. Would things be better at home if Kamala were president right now? Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is a big problem that people that are further left of liberals have with liberals, is that you guys only pay attention if it's somebody that you don't like.
This is 100% projection from the white American left. And I love that you say this right here. You say we wouldn't be paying attention if it wasn't somebody that we didn't like, but you're not even paying attention right now. You're just sitting there blaming Kamala Harris for something that she had nothing to do with, because you weren't even paying attention when the debates were going on, when we were trying to figure out who to elect. And there was obviously a better choice when it came to the lives of Palestinians. And you decided for the opposite of that. You say you wouldn't have cared if someone else was doing it, except we did care. And most of the people who cared about it on the liberal side have been talking about this kind of issue for decades now. But since Kamala Harris was the nominee, and since you were opposed to Biden and Harris, you immediately pinpointed it all at Kamala Harris. And now that Trump is in office, someone you do like and you do care about, and you don't hate Trump, you're totally fine with sitting there just doing videos about Coachella while Lebanon is invaded, while Gaza is under the control of the Board of Peace, while Trump is at war with Iran. You just sit there and go, haha, see, liberals, we got you. But it is projection. In fact, by saying that all of it just started under Biden and Harris, you admit that you had no idea what was going on previously. You admit that you have zero clue that this was an issue for a long time, that this has been affecting millions of people's lives and sovereignty. And in fact, you made the worst choice, because you claim that Kamala Harris and Trump were absolutely the same, but they couldn't have been more definitionally opposite, where Kamala Harris wanted to have sovereignty for Palestine as its own separate state in a two-state solution, and you opted for the one-state solution under Trump, where Israel controlled everything and was able to go to war with Iran and expand their borders even further into Lebanon. Say you were watching it when it happened, but you probably weren't. You were probably at brunch when this happened, when Trump was sitting there in debates claiming that Joe Biden was practically a Palestinian, claiming to want to dissolve the Palestinian state using the United States military and go to war with Iran. And Trump has done exactly that. And you're still sitting there claiming that they were both exactly the same when Kamala Harris wanted a ceasefire and a two-state solution, because you knew nothing about anything going on at all prior. And here you're just sitting there doing your little video and your TikTok, with your makeup and going, well, see, guys, they were both the same. Everybody knows they were both the same. Tee-hee, right? It was really about the fact that liberals didn't like that Donald Trump was going to do it. And now you're just happy because you got what you voted for. You got what you wanted. And you got validation for it. Because there was no point in which you ever actually cared about Palestinian lives, except as window dressing for your campaign of retribution for people who had fundamentally rejected Trump. Because no, Israel was not defending itself from Iran. In fact, you are defending Donald Trump, who pushed to have a joint war with the US and Israel against Iran. You're fundamentally lying to protect Trump. There's no other purpose, no other reason to lie against what everyone else acknowledges. Everyone else knows it to be true. The only people who would have any problem lying about this are people like you and people like MAGA. And I know you have your videos about MAGA family and stuff like that, but the apple just never falls far enough from the tree, does it? So while you guys accuse liberals of wanting to be back at brunch, the fact is you've been at brunch since November 6th of 2024. You were right back to brunch after you left brunch for a quick step outside. Now you're just back to doing videos about what influencer? Wait a second. Influencers? Capitalizing off of real world events? Tell me more.
Which is exactly what Victoria Paris and Brand Flakes have both done.
Victoria Paris and Brand Flakes. Wait a second. I gotta watch the beginning of this video. What the fuck are you talking?
I'm actually not surprised that Brand Flakes and Victoria Paris went to Coachella.
Coachella. Pay an exorbitant amount of money to never have to listen to a white person talk about Coachella ever again. But like in any sort of long form way, it's just kind of sad because who could care less about it? It's not okay.
Well, Obama? He literally underline it. Oh, but since it's like happening over Trump and he's being way more vocal about it than like in power would be, now it's a problem. Kamala Harris said 7 times in her campaign, her very short campaign, that she would do anything she could to protect Israel and the right to defend itself. And why are we in this world of war right now? Kamala Harris repeatedly said she was for it, so that was tough. Like, was she be tweeting and then in entire revolution time? No. Like, if Kamala Harris was president right now, she would be saying, well, it's really just because of obviously because that means good things back. Which I'm just saying that he's really crazy about it because he has progressive dementia. And before you guys get angry and yelling at me, I'm not saying Kamala Harris and Trump are the same. Really think that we would not be in war with Iran right now if Kamala were president, you are sorely mistaken. Would things be better at home if Kamala were president right now? Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is a big problem that people that are further left of liberals have with liberals, is that you guys only pay attention if it's somebody that you don't like.
It's always a baby bang dumbass that has a horrible take that's based in absolutely nothing but their opinion that's uninformed. So let me talk about the differences that we would have saw if Kamala Harris were president. There would have been massive, not just here domestically, but foreign policy initiatives that would have been different if Kamala Harris were president. For example, the executive action that Biden signed on in February of 2023 that prevented the Israeli settlers from stealing the houses of Palestinians in the West Bank would probably still be in place and probably be strengthened under the Harris administration. That was rescinded during Donald Trump's first day in office. He rescinded that immediately. Second, when you talk about foreign policy, when you guys make this argument, specifically when it pertains to Iran, it tells me that you bitches that claim to read everything read nothing at all. Do you understand why presidents past and present before Trump, I should say, did not want to invade Iran? Do you understand why? Of course you don't, because you just love setting your cameras up and just giving your uninformed, uneducated opinions on things with no look back on history to actually support that opinion. Kamala is inarguably to the left of Joe Biden on foreign policy, specifically when it pertains to Iran. Joe Biden didn't even want to invade Iran, and specifically told Netanyahu, if you want to go to war with Iran, you will be going at it alone, because there's absolutely no reason for me, our country, to invade Iran. The reason why presidents before Trump too refused to invade Iran was for very specific reasons, and a lot of it had to do with the aftermath and the outcome of what happened in Iraq. When we invaded Iraq, we created a vacuum in that region that we could not control. And that led to something worse than Saddam Hussein. You know, ISIS. US presidents for a long time, decades now, refused to invade Iran because they did not know what would be in the aftermath of the vacuum that would be created if the Iranian regime fell. So that's why past US presidents before Trump too refused to invade Iran. And again, Kamala is to the left of Joe Biden, who did not want to invade Iran for the Israelis. So what do you think Kamala would have done? Why do you guys believe this stupid fucking shit that Kamala would be invading Iran right now with no evidence of the sort? I constantly make this point, and it is every single time I see you guys make these horrible fucking takes, it is proven true. You guys have a literal basic understanding of everything, and you set your cameras up. And this is what frustrates me more than anything. You set your cameras up and speak with authority on things that you know nothing about and have done zero evidence finding or educating on the subject matter that you are speaking with authority on. And that's why people hate you bitches. That's why we don't like you online leftists. Because you literally don't know what the fuck you are talking about. And a lot of it is just you projecting because you don't want to acknowledge that you got it wrong. You want to pretend and create these realities where Kamala Harris would be equally as bad as Donald Trump. And you know that that's not fucking true. And the fact that y'all don't think that things being better at home is worth voting for, and you're so totally fine with harming people here in this country, is every fucking reason why we should never take into account anything that you say to determine our political praxis. Fucking
really think that we would not be in war with Iran right now if Kamala were president, you are sorely.
I implore you to go back and watch this gentleman's video, because he answered the question that she was trying to say. But white leftists, I wish y'all would just come out as Republicans and get it the fuck over with. You know, stop talking to black folk. Just shut the fuck up. Stop speaking to us. Stop it. Just stop. Because some of us have family members that have been in this fight since longer than you've been alive. And to watch y'all, once again, continue to make the same fucking mistakes, a revolution with nowhere to go, alienating every fucking group that could fucking possibly help you. Your ideas are shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You could not fucking distinguish between a really fucking horrible candidate and one who you didn't disagree with. And yet, for some reason, every time we turn around, here y'all are, talking again. Y'all, white leftists, are the reason we're gonna fuck around and end up with a Christian nationalist theocracy. You are. And I don't speak for the entirety of the black community, but I know the 92% that didn't vote for this and the 83% that did not vote for this are black men and black women. We don't like y'all. You cannot shine that turd enough for us to even want to sit down and talk to you. You can't. That's why y'all love y'all some Hassan Piker, but we don't. Because y'all will bypass all the fucking racist, dog whistly shit that Hassan says because he's speaking about Palestine. Even the Palestinians told y'all not to do this. You're performative. If you were performative and did not have an outlet to be performative, nobody would give a fuck. But you all want to play spoilers. You all want to play spoilers. I am all for burning down this goddamn system. It ain't never been good to any black folks that I know. So who gives a fuck? Burn it the fuck down. But where's your idea on what to do when it's done? I have plans. I have the entire template for an entire political party. I would start local and build our way up to a national campaign. And I'm not even a political person that would do something like that. There are a lot of other black men and women who are political scientists who give a hell of a lot more detailed, nuanced ways to fix the system. But you white leftists ain't gonna listen. But y'all will watch 8 hours of Hassan Piker trying to tell y'all where the fuck to go, how fast to get there, and wants to be disrespectful towards black people. This is why we don't like y'all. Y'all are the fracture within the left. You are. You directionless fucks. Y'all are the fracture within the left. You are. Will I equate you with the extreme right? No, I won't. because I'm not a fucking idiot. I know the difference. But I can tell you this much. You are all annoying as fuck. We loathe the ground you walk on. Because y'all somehow believe that we got to fight for what's outside rather than our own comfort. Hi, I'd like to introduce you to the Black experience in the United States. We have believed in the American dream more than you little raggedy back bastards have ever. Ever. And what have we gotten for that fucking belief? Platitudes. And yet for some reason we're still out there, still trying to enact change, not just for our own community, but for the entirety of the United States. And then you motherfuckers come along. You had one fucking thing that you cared about. Palestine, Gaza, Palestine, Gaza. And in the process of you giving a fuck about just that one thing, you alienated anybody and everybody that would sit and listen to you. Because you motherfuckers ain't got the heart to go say that bullshit to them right-wing MAGA Christian nationalist motherfuckers. Now do you? But y'all always come here. You always want to criticize here. You have no fucking plans. All of you are a mishmash of a bunch of bullshit. And then you have the audacity to try to center your motherfucking self in the struggle of every fucking American when you don't even know what the fuck you are talking about. While you're over there worried about Gaza, how many times have y'all cried for the people in Sikot? Some of y'all don't even know where the fuck Sikot is. Because if you cried about the people that were taken to Sikot, which is a prison in El Salvador, illegally, unjustly, extrajudicially, if you actually fucking stopped to cry one fucking tear about them, you would then have to cry about why they were there. Then you would have to cry about the fact that they were put in that situation because you motherfuckers decided Kamala Harris and Donald Trump were the same person. No, you simple white leftist motherfuckers. We wouldn't be at war with Iran if Harris was president because Kamala didn't have a plan to go to war with Iran. But that's y'all problem. You're too pussy to say anything about the right. When they're in power, you shut the fuck up. When they're not in power, all you can talk about is Democrats because you too pussy to talk about the motherfucking right wing because you understand they come with bloodshed and bullets and punches to the face. That's what they come with. They're going to tell you, they're going to talk about your gender. They're going to talk about your sexual orientation. They're going to talk about your age and your blue hair and your septum rings. And then they're going to fucking threaten to do harmful things to you. So you're too pussy to say a motherfucking thing to the people who are currently fucking us up. But you always got time to rehash the 2024 election, except for the part where you take some responsibility for getting us here. You want to try to minimize your numbers. It was more than one, which means it was more than two. It was one too many. Kamala would not be doing half the shit that Trump is doing. And anybody, and I don't give a fuck how long they stay on Twitch, 8 or 12-hour fucking live streams. Anybody that tells you that they would be the same can blow me. They can blow my very progressive black cock. White leftists, you are literally digging holes to put yourself in because you're going to fuck right around and alienate us so fucking much that not only are we not going to talk to you, we're going to be just as nasty to you as the right is. You motherfuckers might want to try to find some friends in this shit. Maybe back off of your idea that you know better than every goddamn body else. Maybe shut the fuck up and actually listen to people who've had skin in the game since black and white fucking pictures. Or you can continue to act like everything would have been the same had we elected the smart black woman over the dumb white man. Either way, y'all are really starting to get on our motherfucking nerves. And you've been getting on our motherfucking nerves long before the fucking 2024 election. Your slips are showing. My advice, go fix that.
I think the word of today is accountability. And I just sit here and think about how white people will make a choice to literally destroy relationships with their own goddamn children for the rest of their lives, refusing to take accountability for participating in racism and white supremacy. Like, you, as a white parent, a white MAGA parent, find it so necessary to hold on to the dehumanization of anyone that isn't white, that you'll go to your deathbed never taking accountability for participating in racism and white supremacy. You will ruin your own quality of life. You'll ruin your entire life to hold on to that shit. For what? What does it cost you to humanize people that are not white, people that are not straight? It'll cost you your identity. It'll cost you your programming. It'll cost you your comfort. But that opens up the opportunity to join in collective humanity. It opens up the opportunity for you to grow as a person, to create new relationships, to connect with your own cultural roots. Because I got white skin, but I'm fucking Scottish. That's where my culture lands, right? Like, choosing a lifetime subscription to whiteness is like signing up willingly to maintain and feed cancer in your body and in your brain and think that you're the healthiest you've ever been. For what? For what? So you can benefit from a system that kills for everyone else? So you don't have to have hard conversations with your children? So you can live a fucking miserable, mediocre life? So you can participate in having blood on your hands till the day that you fucking die? White supremacy and racism are so fucking illogical. And if you cannot take accountability for the parts that we play in that, you'll never change.
This is
And that's
all
a
I got
fucking
from this
choice.
video. The fact that these people will never learn. I have never seen people that will never learn. I have never seen people that have decided that they will never focus on what it's going on presently, instead of looking for a way to drag Kamala Harris into their problem. Last I checked, they did not vote for this woman, right? When people did not vote for you, how do you want to become the president? Of course, you won't be the president, right? Presently, they have president, but I do not see them hold president and vice president accountable like they held Kamala Harris. And like every other person have said, we have all talked about this thing several times. I am sure there won't be anything like Iran war if Kamala Harris were the president. Sincerely speaking, these people saw this woman and decided that they were not going to vote for her, that they were going to do otherwise, which they voted, right? Now, how come it is not a problem? Is that supposed to be our problem or you people's problem? Because it's not making sense. Biden, I am sure he's out there living his best life. And Kamala Harris has been there touring, doing other things. But how can they rest? I do not see you people call out this administration for all the brouhaha they have been causing, making people's life harder, difficult, and all that. But Kamala Harris, one way or the other, is still taking bullet for you not voting her. And I don't also see them hold JD Vance accountable for all the things going on presently in America and other continents or other countries that they have decided to set their foot in. But Kamala Harris was the problem. Now, this is absolutely her admitting that Kamala Harris and this man are not the same, and they knew it. They knew that they are not the same. Oh, I thought you guys voted because you wanted gas price to reduce, you wanted this to free medicals, like a lot of things. He wasn't going to take you to war. So what is happening today? Because last I checked, it has always been United States of America. Man, there are some videos you see on your timeline. All you want to do is just to use your leg and block it. So block. If you see her anywhere pop up, block her. They are good for nothing. They do not mean well. When people meant well for you, you will know. It shows around. When you have friends, you know when they have something, when they have your interests at heart. You know when your friends want the best for you. Guys, let me tell us something. There are some things you'll be like, is this an idiot? I mean, when I say idiot, I mean, you guys know idiot is an animal, right? Sometimes you get confused. But one thing I will tell you is that you cannot be confused. When you see an idiot, you will know it's an idiot. When you see a snake, you will know it's a snake. When you see a goat, you'll be able to know it's a goat. How do you want to call snake an idiot? Or how do you want to call a cow an idiot? You know what? I've been trying so hard to hold my tongue, but sometimes you cannot hold it because some people will just come out there and make you really pissed, especially white American leftists. You know what? I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.